I'm just starting today, so I'm not very good at this. I'm just going to discuss the Irish health system. My experience of is maybe I have I have very bad experiences of it anyway. I've been ill now for when my illness begins about 30 years ago. That's quite a long time. That's around roughly when I was 12. I'm giving away my age here. Um, I'll try and speed it up. Well, I had a happy childhood. I'm from a poor family, but as long as you have your health, you don't mind. Playing football, going to school, snooker, pool, or whatever, and watching football matches, and stuff like that. And, stuff that you enjoy doing, and a happy childhood. Of course, there's some bad things happen in everybody's childhood. Other than that, nothing spectacular, nothing amazing. Sure in the mill. Childhood, everything was great, and then at the age of 12, things started to go wrong. It's hard to say, but my conscience was starting to bother me, and after the age of 12, I'm a very religious person. It wasn't beaten into me or anything, it's just my own beliefs. They were just the way I was. I'm all kind of old-fashioned and conservative. So, okay, it's called fornication. My conscience was at me. I was still in fairly good health. I had a Beatles hairstyle at the time, yes, that's right. I had a Beatles hairstyle. Of course, it's all gone now. I was still in relative, my conscience was at me, but other than that, I was a bit down in the dumps. I was trying my best, and then at the age of 14, I made a monumentous decision. I hope I pronounced that right. I said I was going to change my life for good. I was going to be the way I was when I was 10, 9, 10, 11, and so on. So I would be talking to God, obviously, like, sometimes I would like a hair now, but put on my honour and my mind. I said to God, from now on, I'm never doing any more fornication ever again. Or to look at women either. Because that would bother my conscience as well. So, I was only summer holidays. I spent most of that summer just cycling. I often cycle up to 60 miles a day. I used to pretend to my mother that I was going down to my friends, but I never actually went near them. And, I done some funny things happen when I'd be cycling. For some bizarre reason, I wouldn't bring the puncture repair kit or a bicycle pump. I'd just go, and I actually got stranded in a few areas. Fault. I was going through something like, I'm just telling you now because you kind of know what I'm talking about. And, okay, then by about August the 27th, I'm giving me age right here, 1988, that was the day I said I will never fornicate again for the rest of my life, never look at women or whatever. And of course, I thought this was going to happen, but you're going to find out later that this went all horribly wrong. So, the official date, it's the 4th. I always go by the 1st of September. It's actually 27th of August. 1st of September 88. Through that September, I began to pray more and more. It was maybe 10 minutes, then half an hour, then it was going into hours every single day, just praying. My conscience was driving me nuts. I was in a different world. I would be looking around to see the people see me praying. Obviously, people obviously did see me. I thought they didn't. I was just in another world. I was getting very upset. I was even kind of suicidal. But gradually the praying got worse and worse. I was praying everywhere. I just couldn't stop. And eventually, a lot of people began to notice. Of course, my mother and my brothers and sisters, and I was at school as well. This would be, for example, I would pray so often. I'd be praying to 2 o'clock in the morning, maybe sometimes later, and I'd get up at maybe 7, and I'd still be late for school, even though it only take me no more than 15 minutes to cycle there. I think sometimes just to get into school well after 10 o'clock in the morning, and it was getting worse and worse. And then one day my name was called up on the intercom. I don't know what the proper name is for it. I thought I was in some sort of trouble. I went down to career guidance. He said to me, what's wrong with you? I said, I've let down God, I've let down my country, and I've let down my family. And I broke down crying, and that was, I can't remember much. I went back to the classroom. Then I think it was exactly a week later, not to the hour obviously, it was a Wednesday, I think it was actually a Wednesday, now I might be wrong, I think it was a Wednesday later or something like that. Yeah. I was in the classroom again, doing whatever, and my name got called in the intercom again. I thought, I must be in trouble again. It said, go down to the principal's office, that usually means you're in trouble. So I went down to the principal's office and my mother was there waiting for me. I said, "Now, what are you doing here?" "There's a taxi outside waiting for you." I said, "What?" I said, "A taxi? For what? Where am I going?" I wasn't quite sure. Then she mentioned something of the name of a hospital, but I'm not going to mention on this webcam in case I get sued for defamation or whatever. So if you see me saying it's just that I'm afraid they might try and sue me or whatever for defamation. I was taken into the hospital. I begged her. I said, "Mate, I'll change my ways. I won't do anything bad again. I'll cut down on the praying." But I was signing anyway. I think it was there exactly 6 days, 6 nights. It was for adolescents, of course, because I was 14. It was November '88, so my birthday's in February, so it was only a couple of months shy of my 15th birthday. I couldn't tell him what the real problem was because it was embarrassing. It was a male problem. All the staff were female, virtually. Well, all the nursing staff were female. Most of the doctors were female. And then also you have to remember that because you're underage, your parents are told about it. So I couldn't say anything about it. So this was probably the best treatment I ever had in that place. The nursing staff were better than ever. I only found out later they would actually transfer from another hospital, public hospital, to this. That's why they were better. Only some would ask you what's wrong. I would say to them, there's nothing wrong with me. It's just all a one big misunderstanding. Something like that. And I'll be grand when I go home. And then my grandmother passed away 6 days later. Well, she passed away there. I wanted to go to the funeral, of course, but for some reason, I only found later, my mother thought that they wouldn't let me go, so she had to sign me out. So I got signed out. Oh, sorry, I forgot. I actually did not sleep away for the 6 nights I was there. This is the longest term. It gets a lot worse later on. This is the longest time in my life gone without actually sleep. The reason why I didn't sleep there for the first, the bed was very uncomfortable. The first night I was tossing and turning, and one of the staff nurses came in and said to me, "If you don't stop tossing and turning, I'm going to have to give you a sleeping tablet." So I said, "Okay," to myself. I'll just stay still and keep me. And it worked. I was at that age. You can do it outside. You just lie there. Sometimes you'd open your eyes and you look like you're fast asleep. Okay, that was the longest period without sleep for 6 days, all nights. But when I got home, I slept that night. Then I didn't go back to school straight away, but I went back to mass. I used to go to mass twice a day, weekdays, 3 or 4 times a day on a Sunday. I'd be praying sometimes outside the church till 10 o'clock at night. It'd be raining. Obviously, people saw me doing this. I was trying to hide in the corner of the, how do you say it, with the architecture of the church, the building itself, where it's darker in the shade at night time. We are kind of camouflaged, as we would call it. But obviously some people must have saw me doing this. Yeah, at that age you can stand out in the lashing rain. Of course I'd have a coat on, but it wouldn't actually bother. It was in December into January. And as I said, I'm going to continue on with this, but I'm going to speed it up now. But the next time I talk to you, I'm going to try and talk to you. It'll be around January '89, about a month or so before my 15th birthday. Please stick with me. I'm only new to this, so I'm liable to make mistakes. Thanks very much. God bless, and bye.